gotta go up to it. Yeah, baby. Yeah, the bets. Oh, yeah. Digging it. Totally digging it. Marcus Conte reporting. Good morning, everybody. Morning. So many stories to talk about. Too many stories. Oh, look, my hair is blowing in the fan. Look at that. I got the fan on. It's like a special effect, right? I should turn the fan up, right? It's like got my hair flapping in the wind. I just discovered them, the Beths. They're pretty good. Listen to the guitar player. The girl's great. Girl's really great. I'll listen to more later. We'll listen to more of it in a minute. So, Marcus Conte reporting. A lot of stories. There's so many things going on in the news right now. We've got Bill Clinton named as the executive pedophile in the Epstein Ghislaine Maxwell saga, right? Old court documents that are new, that were previously known but not released to the public because of a plea bargain, because of some kind of deal with that one woman, Giraffe or Jaffrey, whatever her name is, the number one chick. That says the bottom line is that Bill Clinton has been confirmed in court documents as having stepped foot on Pedo Island, has been there, hung out with Epstein, allegedly participated in orgies with Ghislaine Maxwell and teenage girls. Wow, shit! It's on the record. But what do the courts really mean? What does it mean anymore? When someone says something in court, and even if a judge says, yeah, does anybody ever believe it anymore? Because all the systems broke down, right? We don't even believe it anymore. Do we believe, who's paying off the judge? Who's paying off the trial attorneys? Who's paying off the witnesses? Everybody's getting paid off. Did Bill Clinton really stick his dick in a teenage girl? Did he? Did he do it? Did Bill Clinton screw a teenager on Pedo Island? That's what we want to know. Did anybody see Bill Clinton stick his dick in a teenage girl on Pedo Island? Did Bill Clinton fly 26 times on Pedo Airlines, on Epstein's private jet to Pedo Island? Can we confirm it? 26 times he's there, according to the flight record. Bill Clinton was there. Bill Clinton was on the plane. Now there's new documents that say Bill Clinton was in fact on Pedo Island, engaged, or certainly very, very close to the fire when pedo shit was going on. So we'll look at that one. And Trump is on a rampage. Trump is twofold. Trump is on a rampage with trying to shut down Portland, trying to shut down the radicals, the rebels. He calls them domestic terrorists. They're trying to speak up for their human rights and their basic rights to not get beat the shit out of by police and shot in the back while they're running away with their Wendy's sandwich. Is Trump right? Who's right? I think it's in the middle somewhere. I think Trump is wrong sending in federal troops, but he's doing it, and they're shutting down Portland. They're now gassing people. They're gassing people. Oh, I thought, gas, you can't. Assad, remember the story in Syria? Assad, he gassed his own people. Oh, look at the record, jerk-offs. They're gassing. We're gassing our own people in Portland. We're gassing them with smoke bombs and tear gas and fucking who else knows what. So So we'll look at that story too. And despite what despite the U.S. economy stalling, there are signs in that economy because it's so disbalanced, right? The whole economy is out of balance. It's like trying to stand on one toe. Right? Eventually, it cracks. Right? There's no support. Right? For support. I mean, you could support yourself on one leg, but you're going to get tired unless you keep moving around. If you have two legs, it's a little better. If you have a third arch, if you have something else that holds you up like a tripod, you're even more grounded, and maybe a four legs. So 4 legs are better than 2, and certainly better than 1. But the point is that the economy has not found any balance. It's disbalanced. It's stimulus infused, based on no collateral, based on a war machine that promises we'll keep expanding at your expense. We'll keep expanding. We'll give you money, shut the fuck up, and we will keep expanding and stealing resources globally until there's nothing left, until the economy fully cooperates with our agenda. That's the promise of the U.S. economy. That's the promise of the empire. And but at this time, that promise is not supporting the people. All it is doing is just printing cash because we have the universal currency, because we have because the globe trades in dollars, and we can print and make fake dollars all we want and pay off our debt and pay off our people to shut the fuck up. We're in a rough time. So good morning, everybody, and that's what we're going to talk about. Marcus Conte reporting. Thank you, Vinny DiMartini on the chat, on the wrench. Don't be a dick in the chat. I know. Whenever Trump or Bill Clinton or pedophile is in the title, the dicks rise. All the dicks that come in and say, "Oh, I'm red pilled. Finally, Conte is red pilled." Conte invented the red pill. You're red-pilled because you're here. That's why you're here, you idiot. You're only here because of me. That's why I've been saying this shit all along, you dummy. You dummies in the chat. But don't be a dick. I don't mind your opinions. You can say whatever you want. Just don't. Personal attacks and that LARPer shit is just it's not tolerated here. It's old. It's stupid. It's played out. Making up fake stories about people. Lie in the truth, right? Someone said in one of the comments that the report I did, and this is not to pat myself on the back, but the report I did on the New York Post and Fox News lying about the junkies on 40th Street and Times Square was brilliant, was masterful, was epic, and then said if only the truth if only you could get paid for the truth. Right? That's an interesting comment. I think that people, as we move forward in this despicable economy and this despicable, distrustful state of our being, where nobody trusts anybody, where the systems have collapsed, and I think truth will prevail. I think truth in media is the way. So, I'm only a few. I'm not that far down. I always say, whenever people ask me, that I say we're just getting started. Truth in news we are so far ahead of our time in this medium, in this messaging. It's ridiculous. Right? We are the future, not TYT, not that bullshit. To get off your ass and go out and actually look at what the fake news is talking about. Put your ass on the ground and see it, and then report on it and compare it to the lie. That's just what I do. Sometimes when I'm not stretching in the park and being lazy, but it's not. But that's what I'm doing now. I'm still. Even in the seat now. I think truth. What I'm trying to say is, I think truth in news. I'm no fucking pioneer. I'm just a guy who discovered that truth is much more powerful. You can hold off armies. It's like that scene in There was a scene in Batman. Oh, Batman! You remember when Batman was getting instructions from the evil villain, he got a visitation in the jail. Remember in the movie? I don't know which movie it was, but one of the latter Batman movies, he's sitting in jail, and he just gets out of jail, and some prophet visits him and says, "We've been watching you very closely, and we've watched you. We can see that you can defend yourself against 7 villains. If you listen to us, we'll show you how to engage 1,000 at once." See, that's what I believe. I believe that the power is in the truth. That with truth on your side, genuine truth, lacking ego, lacking self-interest, lacking, oh, I'm going to be the star, I'm going to be the face of new media. With all that, you put all that bullshit aside. Right? That's all ego, and you lie in the truth. I think it's staggeringly powerful, and it allows you to engage anybody at any time for any reason, so long as you're in the truth. So that's my big philosophy for this morning. So Bill Clinton, we got to talk about it. Before we do that, let's we got some good side stories too, some funny shit going on in the news. It's really crazy times we're living in. So Mark's Conte reporting, and this is my website. If you're new to YouTube, if you're new to this news, this truthful news, not the bullshit truthful news, not the truth community that was hijacked by a bunch of idiots and losers and criminals, but the real truth that is and always has been there for you to harvest. If you want to find the bullshit, go here, Anti-LARP News, and you'll find some. But while you're here, kindly become a Patreon of the channel. You hit this, you join. And for $2 a month, you support this $2, $5, $100, whatever you got. All right, I'll take it all. All right, I'll take whatever you got. It's up to you. You know, it's what you can afford. Seeing the value in things. I think that's the new economy. You know, it's there's no requirement to pay here. You know, but there is I think a moral obligation of some sort. Right, when you see something good, you know, like when I film people on the street, if it's like a homeless person, I always walk by with a couple of dollars in my hand and I hand it to them. Or musicians playing on the street, I always contribute, not because I have to, because I want to. See, that's what I want. I want people that I don't want you to have to contribute. I want you to want to contribute to this and be part of it. Come in, chat. You know what I'm saying? And that's just my belief, you know. That's all I got. Right? I got 50, you know. And again, this is not ego. This is just statement of the facts. I got 25, 30 people, good people, everybody telling me what I should do. Oh, Conte, I get all kinds of emails and fucking romantic emails and professional emails and all kinds of characters telling me, Conte, try to guide my career. Everybody wants to guide Conte's career. Why? What the fuck? I'm just some jerk off. I thought I was some jerk off, a blue pill jerk off with a hat and funny glasses and fucking fake teeth. And now, all of a sudden, everybody wants a piece. Everybody wants to guide my career. That's not what I do. I mean, I take stories from people because if they're interesting, but I don't know what I do. I wake up and I put my feelers into the news. And I talk about it, right? I don't need. Here's what I don't need. I don't need creative direction. Right? I'm using it. I'm tapping into something that is not. It's not necessary. It's not that sort of direction from people is not necessary. Is what I'm trying to say. This makes sense to a couple of people watching. It doesn't. I don't. The creative part of this is organic. The part that is still up in the air is how does one, you know, genuinely profit from it, and not in a money grabbing sense. You must make a living at some point in your endeavor. You must get paid, or you can't continue. Right? So how does one get paid? By trying to communicate to the better angels in people. and trying to get them to want to help and want to support the truth. Right? And again, I'm no perfect being, right? I get shit wrong all the time, and when I'm wrong, I try to promptly admit it. I will say, I think it's funny sometimes. When I get shit wrong, to me, that's funny. That's the human experience. That's the human error. That's not manipulation. That's just getting something wrong. And all people do it, and there's no shame in that. There's no harm in that, as long as you promptly admit it. Now, has the New York Post from yesterday and Fox News from yesterday promptly admitted that they were wrong about a fake story on 42nd Street and 40th Street about the block turning into Needle Row and Needle Park and a shooting gallery? Have they? I haven't heard of anything. Right? So they're very dishonest. They're very dishonest brokers. Right? And needless to say, the jerk-off LARP community, that is the lie. So anyway, so kindly become a Patreon. That's what I'm trying to say over there. So, look, we went to Mars. Let's watch a Mars video. In case you weren't aware of Mars.
Please.
Look at this. NASA launches newest Mars rover.
That was NASA launching its newest rover to Mars today.
Sexy.
Researchers plan to use this trip to look for signs of life on the red planet. CBS's Chris Martinez has more on the potentially historic mission.
Release.
NASA's latest mission to Mars blasted off from Kennedy Space Center, embarking on a journey that could answer an age-old question.
You know how many billions of dollars go into this, man? Billions of dollars going to Mars. Billions. I don't know how many billions. Somebody look it up. How many billions of dollars went into the latest NASA rover mission? Put it in the chat. How much did this cost?
It is very
It's beautiful to watch.
that we are alone.
Project scientist Ken Farley says a
So they're going to put this rover.
By every
Shut up.
habitable-
Shut up. Shut up.
geology of Mars. This first of its kind Mars.
They're going to have a rover. They still can't get a sample from Mars. They can't get a dirt sample. But anyway, that's how your money's being
capturing
spent right now. It's
aerial
exciting,
views of the
right?
planet's
It's
surface.
exciting because we're human beings, and because we can't even get comfortable with our own planet. We're looking to get the fuck off the planet. We're looking to explore other planets when we haven't even perfected this planet yet. We can't even feed people. We can't even find an energy source that doesn't burn a hole in the fucking ozone. But nonetheless, we're off to Mars. We're off to Mars. Here's another great story. Here's nature. Watch this. Right?
Hello.
So this woman, right? Apparently, she's there, and a cardinal, a very elusive, beautiful bird. You see them all over the Northwest. You see them up here, and they're very hard to. They're very paranoid. You see them, and then boom, they're gone. But not this time.
Wasn't expecting to be a cardinal. We're gonna push him from the side. Hey, man. Bud, are you hurt? I don't know what I thought, if he was gonna talk to me or what. I got to him and he opened his eye.
Wow.
You're like, hey. I just tried to go for it and I went and picked him up. To my surprise, he let me. Morning. Crawled up and hooked onto my hand.
You know, my suspicion here is that this might have been someone's pet. This might have been someone's cooped up cardinal. That's what I think.
I was just standing there admiring how pretty he was. Did you get hurt in the storm?
But how beautiful, right?
Update, still here. I cannot believe this.
Well, he was a big red bird, so my best friend is like Clifford, the big red bird.
Clifford,
I
they
was
named him
checking his
Clifford.
wings and his little claws. He seemed okay.
Are you gonna leave? Or are you staying here?
I looked up some bird rescue services on the area, and they recommended I put him in a box in the dark and let him rest for a couple of hours
Can I see your bird?
because she thought maybe he got hit by a car or he ran into something and had a concussion. So he's in the box.
So she takes the bird out, and now she's going to release the bird. And the bird doesn't want to go.
I called him friend a lot, and Guy and Bud. I thought maybe being friendly with him would make him feel okay. I just thought, let's encourage him. Maybe he'll go. Go.
I had a bird once, and the bird would love to sit on your
Are you
finger.
ready
Had a
to go?
parakeet.
Like, was that good rest for you? I mean, are you ready to take off?
Well, there's something else
So
going
I
on,
walked out
right?
of my carport, into the open driveway. He's not going anywhere.
Oh, you feel the breeze? It's kind of windy.
And it's very windy, so his little feathers are like blowing in the wind.
Go, Clifford. Fly. You can do it.
I kept like moving my hand up and down, thinking maybe with a little bit of wind and air he would take off. He wasn't going anywhere. And then he looked at me, he chirped, and then he took off and went to the tree right beside.
So you tend to wonder what was in the bird's mind, right? Is the birds are, very spiritual. They especially cardinals, they seem to, she even says it.
I think he sensed that I meant no harm. Bye. They say cardinals come in at that time to let you know that everything is okay and there's hope ahead, like no worries. Everyone takes...
Cardinals come at bad times and relieve the shit, relieve the pressure. That was a wonderful article. Thank you. So let's dive right in. Here we go. Jeffrey Epstein hosted Bill Clinton on his private island. Documents reveal. This was the big mystery. Did Bill Clinton... I don't know if he verbally denied being on Pedo Island. I think he did. He said he was only on the plane 3 times. And meanwhile, the court record shows, the flight record shows 26 times. Bill Clinton says, I was on the plane 3 times. The flight record says 26 times. Bill Clinton says, I was never on Pedo Island, but I believe, quote, correct me if I'm wrong, but Bill Clinton was in fact on the private island, documents reveal. Let's see. Former President Bill Clinton was a guest at Jeffrey Epstein's private Caribbean island, according to testimony from an Epstein accuser, which was unsealed on Thursday. Virginia Gaffrey, who has also accused Epstein's alleged Madam Ghislaine Maxwell of abusing her, told lawyers in 2011 that Clinton visited Epstein's private Little St. James Island with Maxwell, herself, and 2 young girls from New York. She added that Clinton stayed in Epstein's private residence on the island, where orgies were a constant thing that took place. Jeffrey recalled being surprised to see the former president on the island. Quote, I remember asking Jeffrey, what's Bill Clinton doing here? What's Bill Clinton doing here kind of thing? And he laughed it off and said, well, he owes me a favor, Gaffrey said. Wow. Is she credible, Virginia Gaffrey? Who the hell knows? But it is in the court record, and there was a settlement based on those accusations. That's why we haven't seen the documents, because usually when something is in settlement, when parties agree to settle out of the pre-trial, right, all the evidence is kind of suppressed, and they strike a deal. That's part of it. Silence is part of the plea bargain. So, but not anymore. Now that they've got Ghislaine Maxwell on trial, it's all coming out. So is she credible? Well, she was credible in 2011. Why isn't she credible anymore? Jeffrey said Clinton also traveled on Epstein's private plane and noted how many other famous people, including Clinton's vice president Al Gore, models Naomi Campbell get a little teenage lick there, and Heidi Klum. Who the fuck is Heidi Klum? Were aboard at one point when she was. Just about anyone would fly on his plane. Wait a minute. Quote. Just about anyone would fly on his plane. There was never any set routine who would come and would go. It was an influx of people on Jeffrey Epstein's airplane, said Jaffrey. There were also orgies held on Epstein's plane, Jaffrey said. Frequently, Jaffrey said, she would be on the plane with Epstein and Maxwell when the sexual encounters occurred. There would be sexual conduct. There would be foreplay. There would be a bed in there. so we could basically reenact exactly what was happening in the house, Jeffrey said. It would start off with massaging, or we would start off with foreplay. Sometimes it would lead to, orgies. The details revealed Thursday night were included in documents from a 2015 civil defamation lawsuit against Maxwell by Jeffrey, ordered released by a Manhattan judge last week. Woo-wee. Now, none of this foreplay or orgies on a plane makes a shit of difference or a shit of interest really to anybody, unless what? Unless the girls are underage, because now it's pedophilio, yo. So, is it true? Is there any truth to the story? Let's see. Court documents detail Maxwell's constant orgies with young girls on Epstein Island. And Bill Clinton was there. Let's find out more. Jeffrey Epstein and his alleged Madam Ghislaine Maxwell used his private Caribbean island to host constant orgies, and one flew in a group of European models to fulfill their sexual fetishes. Time out. I don't know what the law is in the Caribbean island. The age of consent could be 15. So, and if you're flying in European models, from where? From Italy? From Milan, where the age of consent is also 15. Age of consent is the shit. What is the age of consent on this Caribbean island? Allegedly, it's probably the same as the U.S., maybe 17 or 18. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But for it to be pedophile case, it has to be below the age in the respect what the age of consent, below the age of consent in the country that is in question. So if a European person or an American goes to, for example, Europe, if a 16-year-old girl, child as we call them here in the United States, goes to Milan, Italy, and has a sexual encounter with a striking Italian man of age 24 or 27 or 56, right? whatever the age is, right? It doesn't matter, because the age of consent in Italy is 15, regardless of the fact that 16-year-old is from U.S., where the laws are different. That's important to understand. Right? You want to fly into someone else's territory. You want to say you were kidnapped. You want to say you were trafficked. Okay, all right, yeah, okay. Virginia Gaffrey has accused Epstein and Maxwell of abusing her. Detailed the sex abuse obsessed world of the pair in 2016 deposition in a civil case against Maxwell. I just read that. Gaffrey testified that Maxwell had continuous sex with girls and women in front of her. Some she believed were as young as 15. There's just a blur of so many girls. So this article, it echoes this one. So this same Virginia Gaffrey is saying that Ghislaine Maxwell had orgies in front of her with underage girls, and here she says that Bill Clinton was there. Now, does she say specifically that she saw Bill Clinton doing this and doing that? No, she does not. But does she say that Bill Clinton was in fact on the airline? Yes. When orgies were going on, maybe not the exact moment she was there. Does she say that Bill Clinton was in fact on Pedo Island, roaming around with two teenage girls? Yes. So is Slick Willie was Slick Willie giving the teenage girls the woo woo in the back in the secret little compartments all over Pedo Island when nobody was looking? Is there sex tapes? Is that why they killed Epstein? Because of those tapes? Because Bill Clinton was sticking his dick in a teenager and they got the tapes? Well, it does make sense. It does make sense. Why is, there still isn't a confirmed eyewitness that has said, Bill Clinton, I was 15 years old and I was on Pedo Island and Bill Clinton fucked me in the ass. Nobody has said that. There's no video of it. There's no eyewitness testimony. There's no There's no witness coming forward that conclusively says that Bill Clinton did this to me. If he was in all these orgies, if all these orgies are going on, where's all the fucking orgy girls? Where's all the orgy dudes? Did somebody see Bill Clinton stick his dick in a teenager? That's what we need to find out. All right, because that's fucking earth shaking. That's Hillary Clinton's husband. That's the two-term, 8-year president of the United States throughout the 90s. That's Bill Clinton. That's an American icon who's now a pedophile. So there you go. Here's another story. That's the Epstein shit. If you came for Epstein, then you can leave now. No, this is good. It gets better. So Florida flight attendant. There she is. Isn't she beautiful? She's a beautiful flight attendant. Florida flight attendant smashes cheating husband's guitar after walking in mid-thrust. Oh, man. So this guy's thrusting some chick when the flight attendant's out there busting her ass working. She's on the airline. She's serving the friendly skies, and the husband is home banging some bimbo in her bed. So she takes out a guitar and smashes him, leaving a hole in the guitar. Now, the big question is, and I'm sure anyone who plays guitar would like to know the big question is, what kind of guitar was it? Was it a piece of shit? Was it just a shitty old fucking garbage guitar? Or did she take out his $4,000 Martin and smash it over his fucking skull and stick the broken end of it up the bimbo's ass? Did she do a il kabang on the guy? What kind of guitar was it? Because that's more important than anything, right? Because you could smash a piece of shit guitar. Who cares? Right? Just get another shit guitar. You could buy a guitar for $25 and smash it on some dude's head because he's fucking a bimbo in your bed. All right. Well, what kind of guitar was it? A flight attendant soared with rage after walking in on her cheating husband. Nicole, 29, allegedly struck her unfaithful hubby while also striking a chord, smashing his acoustic guitar. That means it's hollow. At least it wasn't an electric guitar where you can kill somebody. Literally, you could kill, if you swing an electric guitar at someone's head, or at their body, you're going to break things, or if you hit them in the head, you're going to knock them unconscious. It's a fucking solid piece of wood. It's like a baseball bat. But an acoustic guitar will shatter. It'll kabang, il kabang. When we returned to their home last Wednesday night at 11 p.m. to find him, she returned at 11 p.m. to find him in the middle of sexual intercourse. Get the guitar, honey. Right? Denison punched her husband in the face, causing a black eye, scratched up his face, and bruised his right arm, according to police records. The flight attendant then allegedly turned to his guitar, destroying the instrument when she smashed it against the wall, knocking down shelves and leaving a gaping hole. So she didn't hit him with the guitar. She hit the wall with the guitar. Denson was arrested Wednesday, a week after the incident, and charged with domestic battery. She works for Alliant Air, has 2 children with her husband, and nearly 3 years, who is a bartender and fitness instructor, according to Smoking Gun. Still no mention of the guitar, right? But fascinating story. In full thrust. So here's Trump, right? We'll take care of it. Trump's on a rampage, right? Fucking Trump is talking about federal troops gassing them, smoking them in Portland, taking federal troops with gas and smoke and smoking pedestrians, smoking protesters who he sees as domestic terrorists. So let's see where Trump stands on this domestic bullshit going on in Portland. And then we'll talk about his position, which is a staggeringly unbelievable position on election fraud in this country. But this is a good piece. Let's watch.
Staying there to see whether or not they can do it today and tomorrow. And if they don't do it, we will send in the National Guard and we'll take care of it. A lot of very tough people And these are not people that just have to guard the courthouse and save it. These are people that are allowed to go forward and do what they have to do.
These pictures very recently in from Portland, where Black Lives Matter protesters have been gathering again over the past few hours. The city's protests are partly inflamed by the presence of federal militia and their increasing use of force. President Trump's been accused of abusing his power by sending them in. The nationwide arrest in the wake of the death of George Floyd has stretched into its third month now, occasionally turning violent in Minneapolis, in Seattle, New York, and other major
Look how organized, look how orchestrated the kids of Portland are becoming. They're wearing gas masks, they're wearing helmets, they're wearing knee guards, shin guards, elbow guards, shoulder pads. Fat chick doesn't need it. She's just fatting her way through the pile. That wasn't right, man. She's a rebel. She's a truth seeker. She's anti-police. But they're looking organized.
cities. Well, back to Portland. Here's how it looked 24 hours ago.
Gassing your own people. Sorry. That was pretty spiritual right there. Look at the waving. Right there. Look at that shit, man. What are they waving? They're waving their flashlights of their phones, right? Is that what that is? It's not, because we don't light matches anymore. Now we light our phone, right? Everybody's got a phone. Everybody's got a phone light. I got one. I always forget how to turn it on. Excuse me. I always forget how to turn this shit on. But I want to see it. I don't use the flashlight. It's a good gimmick. Black Lives Matter. Blah 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 blah. Black Lives Matter.
Today, nationwide protests against police brutality and racial injustice rage on. Just hours after Oregon's governor announced a phased withdrawal of federal officers from Portland.
This is a gradual withdrawal from Portland.
Dozens of officers filled city streets in the largest visible response by the federal government to downtown demonstrators. Chaotic confrontations caught on camera. Department of Homeland Security and CBP officers seen firing tear gas and rubber bullets at protesters gathered near the federal courthouse.
That's still in my leg.
One demonstrator seen here, bleeding from injuries in both of his legs.
I'm getting shot for just because I don't want racism to exist.
So they're being shot with rubber bullets, tear gas, because of their ideology. They believe that America is racist. You're hearing it, not that the corporations are raping your country and that the oligarchs are using you like cheap pawns and chess pieces, but enslaving you, but because you're a racist. Because you're a racist. That's why we're out here getting bloody, because you are a fucking racist. Falls short. The message falls short.
Others facing off with demonstrators at several points throughout the night. Standoffs in the state unfolding every night since the death of George Floyd in May. Unrest only intensifying since federal agents were deployed by the Trump administration to protect the downtown courthouse. The president taking aim at the governor, tweeting, "Kate Brown, governor of Oregon, isn't doing her job. She must clear out and in some cases arrest the anarchists and agitators in Portland. If she can't do it, the federal government will do it for her. We will not be leaving until there is safety." This while federal prosecutors in Milwaukee work to dispel concerns that federal agents, a part of President Trump's Operation Legend, are heading to their cities to disperse demonstrations.
This is your country. This is your country, folks. This is what's happening in your country. U.S. Marshals, U.S. federal agents are on the ground in Portland, just overriding the sovereignty of the state. Right. Federal agents on the ground with guns, with tear gas, with rubber bullets, with helmets, with masks, with shin guards, with fucking bats and all kinds of weaponry, and all kinds of dronery in your country, beating the shit out of people.
As seen in Portland.
In Milwaukee, no personnel from the Department of Homeland Security will participate in Operation Legend.
Meantime, demonstrations in Seattle are growing increasingly violent. Police declaring the protest a riot, saying demonstrators were throwing bottles and explosives toward officers. And in New York City, outrage is mounting over a controversial arrest of a demonstrator. Video captures the moment plainclothes NYPD officers grab an 18-year-old transgendered woman, now identified as Nikki Stone.
Oh, she's transgender. That's why they grabbed her. That's important to mention. Isn't that important to mention when a radical is being arrested for allegedly tampering with police equipment, allegedly tampering with surveillance equipment? Oh, she's transgender. She's only 18. She's transgender. So what's that mean? What the fuck does that mean? Why does someone's sexual identity or sexual preference have one iota, one fuck to do with being arrested for tampering with police equipment? Why does that have to... Oh, it's because she's transgender. You see, they hate us. They hate us. It's because we're black. No, it's because you're in the street acting like a fucking moron, where you're burning down people's shit, or you're going into neighborhoods and like my neighborhood, for example, and calling everybody a racist, and then you get punched in the face a couple of times, and then you say, oh, it's because we're black and because we're this and because that. No, because you're a fucking instigator. That's what you're doing.
And force her inside of an unmarked van. Some witnesses say...
So fascinating stuff coming out of Trump's mouth. But here's the bigger story. This is crazy. We've been saying all along, I'm sitting with my legs crossed, and sometimes they fucking... they fry out. I always sit with my legs. I'm usually sitting with my legs crossed. Because chairs, American chairs are very bad for your back, by the way. You shouldn't be sitting in chairs all day long or on couches. Learn how to balance yourself. Learn how to balance sitting upright. I know it's hard, but sometimes you find a balance. If you sit, like there's nothing supporting my back. I'm straight up, my feet are on the floor. But before, it's easier to sit up straight if your legs are crossed. And for some people, that's almost impossible. But you stack one leg on top of the other. I'll show it. I'll do it sometime when I'm outside with the camera. But you pull power from that. You pull power from posture. You pull it from the ground. You pull it from the tension within your body. That's where the strength comes from. You don't just open your mouth and words come out. It has to be grounded in something. It's grounded in your breath. Am I getting too wooey? Is it too much? Is it too much to suggest that there is no separation between mental, spiritual, and physical? Is that too much for you is that too much for some people to grab? To say that, because I believe that. When people say, oh, I have to work on my mental state, or I have to work on my physical state, or I have to work on my emotional state, or my spiritual. Oh, I'm going to be spiritual now. Now all of a sudden I'm spiritual. And then I'm going to I'm going to go run around the block and be physical. And then I'm going to read a book and be mental. No, it's all the same. Those are simultaneously, because there's no guarantee that, first of all, there's no guarantee that thought per se, what we think of as thought, is actually coming from the brain. It's stored in the body. That's why yogis, that when they're doing postures, they can access various, memories. Your memories are not necessarily stored in your brain, but through motion, through heat, through, sometimes you could, various ways, various postures can release memory, and sometimes it could be devastating. Sometimes it could be emotional. Oh my God, I can't believe I fucking did that shit. Oh my God. Oh. That's good. That could happen in meditation. That could happen when you're posturing and you release, and then it passes. And it's nothing more than a wave of energy. Right? You guys should get into this shit, man. I know what I'm talking about, man. Conte's a very, very experienced yogi. That's the secret of this thing. Right? That's the whole secret, man. That's Batman engaging 1,000 people at once. Right? And it's not ego. It's lack of ego. So anyway, I digressed. I give away secrets, man. I give away secrets. So, what the hell am I talking about? Trump warns mail-in voting would cause, quote, the most rigged election in history. Oh, man, are we living in crazy times? The President of the United States has declared that mail-in ballots are a rig. Wow. I never thought I'd see this day where the President of the United States is saying that the elections in our country are rigged, and the fake news is pushing back on him, saying they're very dishonest. He's very dishonest, Trump. Oh my God, what a time to be alive. Let's listen to Trump.
What I want to explain to people, but it doesn't need much explanation. I mean, you look at article after article, New York's mail vote disaster. Tens of thousands of mail ballots have been tossed out in this year's primaries. What will happen in November? It's a mess.
He's citing the fake news, too. He doesn't even cite his own sources. He cites the fake news.
This is done by Washington Post. Can you believe it? The Washington Post of all papers. Fake news, but in this case, it's not fake. It's true. This is done by the Wall Street Journal.
It supports him because it's not. When it supports him, it's not fake. When it's against him, it's fake. Oh, fucking Trump.
Here's another one. Vote by mail experiment reveals potential problems within postal voting system ahead in the November election. And you see what's happening with so many different places. They're doing even trial runs. They're a disaster.
I would agree. No. People in the comments are saying Jerry Fleming says, or somebody said, Raymond Duncan says he's spot on. Unfortunately, I agree. Trump is totally, in my view, totally spot on. He's not necessarily reciting any or citing any real conclusive evidence of. You could talk about the exit polls not matching. You could talk about purging the votes, the Democrats ripping off Bernie Sanders and favoring Hillary Clinton, this time favoring Joe Biden. You could cite so much evidence of election rigging and election fraud in our country, but Trump just talks about what the Washington Post says and the other thing. Is there election fraud in the country? Of course there is. Of course there is. If you send in ballots to Democratic states, like I'm in New York and I fill out a piece of paper and drop it in the mail, and I'm supposed to believe that ballot is going to get counted, that shit is going to get thrown in the fucking garbage. It's going to be put in the garbage pile. If it doesn't have what they want it to have on it. If I didn't check the right box for their candidate, my shit will get thrown in the pail. So why even bother? Is that speculation that happens? No, there's evidence. So much evidence of our government rigging elections. So much evidence. So let's listen to more Trump.
And I don't want to see an election. So many years I've been watching elections. And they say the projected winner or the winner of the election. I don't want to see that take place in a week after November 3rd or a month or, frankly, with litigation and everything else that can happen, years, or you never even know who won the election. I don't want to delay. I want to have the election. But I also don't want to have to wait for 3 months and then find out that the ballots are all missing and the election doesn't mean anything. That's
Amen.
what's going to happen, Steve. That's common sense. And everyone knows it. Smart people know it. Stupid people may not know it. And some people don't want to talk about it. But they know it. And no, we want to have an election where people actually go in and what's your name? My name is so-and-so. Boom, you sign the book like I've been doing for years. It's very, very unfair to our country. If they do this, our country will be a laughingstock all over the world because everyone knows it doesn't work. How many ballots is he sending in California? Is it 28 million or some massive number? Other states are sending out millions and millions of ballots. Well, they've done it. They had experiments. They had news organizations experimenting. And look, read the story in the Washington Post about mail-in voting. It's a disaster. I'm very surprised to see that story, frankly, from them. The story's a disaster. So we're asking for a lot of trouble. And no, do I want to see a date change? No. But I don't want to see a crooked election. This election will be the most rigged election in history.
This election will be the most rigged election in history. There he said it. Watch.
I want to see a crooked election. This election will be the most rigged election in history.
This election, the President of the United States has declared this election will be the most rigged election in history. Whoa, what times we're living in. Where's Bernie Sanders to say, yeah, the elections are rigged? Where's all the progressive, the progressives? Where's Young Turks? Where's the Young Turks? Where's secular talk? Where's Lee Camp saying that the President of the United States is calling out election fraud? Where are you guys? Where the fuck are you guys? Where's all the Bernie bros? Where are you guys? Here's your president. Your president is telling you the shit is rigged, and now because you bought into the shit sandwich, Joe Biden. Joe fucking Biden. Oh my God! So I think that if Trump loses, if we wake up on November 4 and they say that Joe Biden won, I think it's a rig. I don't see how. I just don't see it. I didn't see how Hillary Clinton could have possibly won the Rust Belt. Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania. I don't see it. I don't see how Joe Biden, no message Joe, can win over the important states, the Rust Belt and the swing states. I just don't get it. Can he win California and New York because of the sheer number of radicals and of course the sheer number of shenanigans, the sheer volume of cheating that goes on in these places? I just don't see how. I don't see Trump winning New York or California, but I don't see how Trump loses the Electoral College to a shit sandwich like Joe Biden. So Trump's right. Trump is right. Trump is doing the right thing. So here's a great Lincoln Kareem, who still hasn't gotten back to me. I want to talk to Lincoln Kareem. Caught a great. This is the state of people's minds. Watch this shit. I'll shut the volume off. But here's a woman, right? She's on. I'll narrate. She's on some train. I guess the PATH train or the Long Island train or the New Jersey train, whatever train it is. I think it's the Long Island train. And before she sits down, she's wiping down 2 square seats, fucking swiping down with whatever. Who the hell knows what kind of chemical? She's wiping down the seat, man. She's working hard, man. Great job. This is insane. This is insanity. This is fucking insanity. She's wearing a mask. Germs. I'm gonna get germs. I'm fucking terrified of COVID-19. I'm gonna scrub the walls. I'm scrubbing the walls. Scrub the walls. Oh my God, there it is. There's more. There's more. There's more. All right. And now she takes the rag and the gloves. Let's see what she does with the gloves, right? That's bio waste, right? That's medical waste because you just wipe down a surface of contaminated surface. Let's see what she does with it. Maybe she's going to throw it outside. She stuffs it in the chair. Good job. And that's where it'll stay, right? So she consolidates her germs and adds to the litter. The fucking psychopath, right? And it's not a psychopath. It's just a poor lady who's totally gaslight. She needs to work on her posture too. She's all fucking leaning forward. But I take that back. She's not. So I mean, just compulsive. I mean, just you talk about compulsive behavior. It's just, when you study people and you just let people be, right? As is, people as is. These are people, and now she sits down. Now I feel comfortable. She took her gloves off. She's good, right? She's good to go, right? She had time to wipe down her whole fucking section. But I thought it was aerosolized. It doesn't even, I thought now, it's still in the air, right? Crazy shit. Thank you, Lincoln Kareem. Lincoln Kareem, the roaming cameraman in New York. So the U.S. economy is on life support, but you wouldn't know it if you're playing the stock market. Those of you who are making coin on Amazon and Apple, I love it, right? You love that fucking shit. You love sitting home. You bought some Apple a long time ago, and that shit is way up. You know, if I would have, I mean, would have, could have, might have, you could kick yourself and you could kill yourself over stuff like this. But in 2008, if I would have laid down, if I would have laid bets on what I was thinking, Amazon, Netflix, certainly Apple, all the companies they're talking about, I would have been seven figure plus, you know, multi seven figures in an account. Right now I'm zero. I lost everything. 2008. I went totally bust in 2008 trading. But anyway, I'm over that. I'm past it. It's not even there anymore, you know. But U.S. workers, but for a lot of people it is. You sometimes kick yourself. You find yourself saying, "Oh damn, if I would have done it differently." If you would have done it differently, you wouldn't be in the situation you're in now. For me, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing right now, which is something that is, I believe, is important and necessary and sort of well received. So if I would have put all my money on Apple, Netflix, and you know, the other one, Amazon, Netflix, and Apple, I would have been fine. I wouldn't have been sitting in this chair, legs crossed, cursing at the top of my lungs into a microphone to tell you the truth. That stuff would not have happened. I wouldn't be there. So the past. If I would have just done it differently. See that the past and the future are for fools. When you got one foot in the past, one foot in the future, you're literally stepping over the moment. You're stepping over the present, or you're pissing on the moment. You're not in the moment. Staying in the moment, there is no past, there is no future, there is no separation between spiritual, mental, and physical. It's all one. It's consolidated in the moment if you know how to do that. Right? If you know, what does that mean? What is that? Who cares, right? This is fucking spiritual shit, Conte. What are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? Spiritual, mental, physical. Fucking just read the fucking news already. U.S. workers file. Listen to this. This is the real state of the economy, and then we'll talk about the fake state. The real state of the economy, according to the New York Post. U.S. workers filed 1.43 million more jobless claims as crises total tops 54 million people unemployed. Wow, 54 million. That's 1 in 6. Because if you got 330 million people in the country, and 50 of them, 54 million are jobless, that's roughly 1 in 6. I said it's more like 1 in 4. I think the real number, the uncounted number, that's just claims. The real number is probably, and always has been, about 1 in 4, 1 in 3.5. Literally. You've got 25-30% unemployment in this country. That's a lot. Right? That is a lot. That's a lot. So some 1.43 million Americans applied for unemployment benefits just last week, with the total, as a result of the pandemic, 54 million, new data shows. All right. So I'm not going to read all this. The $600 weekly boost. See, that's the life support. When I say life support, that's what I mean. It's like we don't know what to do with this patient, so let's put him on an incubator, intubation. Let's intubate the COVID person because we don't know what to do with them, and they're probably going to die anyway. So we put them on a ventilator, and it's life support. We're literally, the longer they stay on that life support, and this is just basic physics. This is basic common sense. The longer you stay on life support, the less chance you have of getting off of that life support because it supports your life, and you forget how to support your own life. So as people, I don't know what people are doing with all this money. I mean, I don't see people spending wildly. I don't see people out in the street partying. I don't see people, making solid investments. Or maybe they are. Maybe they're taking the $600 weekly money and they're positioning themselves in the stock market. Maybe they're gambling in the stock market, and eventually that crashes. Watch what happens. Watch. when the big guys, when they got all your money, what happens in the market? They make you comfortable. Oh yeah, you're doing well. Oh, look at your account. Oh, ooh, wow, ooh, you got 80,000. Oh wow, shit. Oh, 120 grand. Wow, you're doing so good. And then one day, whew, they pull that rug right from under your feet, right, and it fucking crashes, and you're all margined, and then you wind up owing them money. They take your 100 grand, and you wind up owing them money. That's how trading works. You're very careful. You're dealing with some of the shadiest characters. If you are trading, you're dealing with some of the most fucking vile motherfuckers on the planet, the traders. So anyway, life support, people are on life support. They're doing good. 600 a week. Ooh, we're doing good. Feel that 600 a week. Here, you want some? 600 a week. Man, I love my country. Oh, God, 600 a week. I think I'll sleep late. Oh, shit. This is good, man. This is a good country. Yeah, Corona. COVID-19, it's everywhere. Why? No, I feel endangered to go back to work because I'm going to get sick. COVID-19. So what else we got here? Come on, pop open. Come on, do that post. Come on, do that post. I got something else here. I don't know what it is. The fuck is this? What the fuck is this? U.S. suffers economic blow. Oh yeah, so there. So that's here's another part of it, right? So you got unemployment skyrocketing. You got gross domestic product by an annual rate of 32.9%. Right? What is that? What does that mean? What does that mean? What do these numbers mean? The numbers don't mean much, but they are. It's actually a lagging indicator, I think. The U.S. economy suffered its worst blow since the Great Depression in the second quarter as the coronavirus slowed the country to a crawl. Wow, we're fucking getting devastated here. There's massive unemployment. How's it all staying together? How are the lights still on? How's the subway still running? I thought the taxpayer money was funding it all. If you still believe that, no, it's that we print fake money. We print the fucking money. This country is extremely wealthy, and we print the money. The government prints the money, and finally, people are not being treated like slaves. They're being given this life support, but again, part of the unemployment problem is that the example is you're working in a restaurant, you're making peanuts, and you lose your job, right? You're making $300 worth of peanuts, busting your ass every week, and you're taking home $400, right? It's just shit. It's shit money if you live in a big city. Shit money. So you're making shit money, and then the coronavirus thing happens, and then suddenly you're getting your shit money. You're getting your unemployment for the shit money that you were owed, maybe $200-300, and on top of that, you're getting $600 large a week. What's your rush to go back to work? Why even go back to work? Why go back to that slavery? And I think that's what we're waiting for. That's the next cultural boom, where people start to come out of hiding. The young people, not the old people, not people your age, but young people. Because young people don't watch my channel. There's virtually nobody under 25 who watches this channel. I don't understand that at all, to be honest with you. Because I think of myself as there for the young people. I really do. Right? I speak true, right? Come on. Yeah, where's the young people, man? Why don't you come on over? Where's all the young Bernie bros and Bernie broettes? Where are you guys, man? Fucking join this channel. Right? But anyway, the nation's gross domestic product in the fucking toilet, right? But we're doing good. Who's doing good? Who's doing good? Let's find out. Apple soars above $400 for first time on Blockbuster earnings. So they're going to announce a 4-for-1 stock split, meaning that the shares will go down to $100 each, but there'll be 4 times as many. I've traded Apple. They've done splits over the years so many times, but so Apple, bang, zoom. Right. The big guys get bigger. You see how wealth, the consolidation of wealth. Apple's loving it. Oh, keep that COVID shit going forever, man. Keep it going forever. We're doing good. So, and we don't pay tax. Apple. We're Apple. We stash our money in the Cayman Islands. We stash our money in the Panama, tax haven. We stash our money in Ireland and Switzerland. That's where we invest our money. We invest our money abroad because we're global. And fuck you, Americans. Americans want us to pay tax in America. No. We're doing business abroad. We are global, so we can take all our profits and invest it in our pocket, and not pay any tax because we're global. That's what's going on here. That's why the antitrust is fucking monopolies. It is monopoly. Black Lives Matter. Get your head out of your ass and get on the right target. Target the motherfuckers that are doing this. So Apple having extraordinary time. Right? Amazon soars after smashing expectations. How's it treating you? How is Amazon's profits and Apple's profits benefiting you? How? Because you think that because they're a large corporation, they employ people. Oh, they employ people, and the monies that they employ trickles down. It hits the real economy. No, and no. It doesn't work that way. They hoard the money. And they take the profits and they suck it out. They suck the profit out of the economy. Now, without them, people will say, well, what would you do without them? If you don't give them all the tax breaks and treat them like royalty, they'll leave. Good. Let them leave. They're not going to leave. First of all, they're here. And then you could, if the government wants to have a heavy hand, rather than having a heavy hand on the poor suckers in Portland for thinking that everything is racist, why don't you have a heavy hand with these cocksuckers, guys like Jeff Bezos and the guy at Apple, David, whatever his name is. It's the real problem. So Apple soaring on profits, Amazon soaring on profits, more millions, right? Wow, what times we're living in, man. Total disbalance. And in Hong Kong, police arrest 4 teens for mere online posts under new security law. And Hong Kong falls, right? Hong Kong falls. Be respectful of your free speech in this country. Be when people say stupid things, but they say it, be grateful that they say it. Be grateful for free speech, because Hong Kong just lost it, right? The ill effects of Hong Kong national security law, which took effect on June 30th, are continuing to be felt. Hong Kong pro-democracy anti-Beijing activists have continued to be on edge and now largely underground since last month's formal passage of the sweeping national security law in response to the mass protests and unrest which gripped the city for much of the last year. On Wednesday, 4 activists were arrested for merely making online posts expressing pro-independence sentiment. They're as young as between 16 years old and 18 years old, and were further said to have been, quote, organizing. Organizing in Hong Kong is illegal. Now, there's some people in Portland, Oregon, and sleeping outside in New York City that are also organizing. Is it a crime to organize in a free country? Well, we're told it's not. It isn't, right? But in Hong Kong, it certainly is not. So, Marcus Conte reporting. Thank you all so much for joining me on this a little milder day here in New York. It's about 74 degrees. Do the weather report. 74 degrees. Oh, we got to feed the robot. Feed the robot. Feed the YouTube robot. Hi, YouTube. We love you. Roboto. We love YouTube. YouTube is the best. YouTube helps us get our message out because we suck, and YouTube is great. We're feeding the monster. I don't think that's the right way to do it, but anyway, man. But anyway. So Marcus Conte reporting, and I hope that was helpful today. Let's see what we got here. So we'll go back to the Beths.
My eyelids float between 2 states on the borderline for sorrow and taste. Then I lift my chin
She has an excellent right hand. She's got a really good right hand guitar player.
I don't let much out, just a broken ball, flickering with doubt. Yeah, happens all the time.
Well, thank you all for sharing, man. I appreciate it. I love that you're here and you're loving it. I love that you're still here. If you're still here, Vinny Martini on the chat. Vinny Martini on the. Oh, hold on a second. I'm following the wrong chat. I didn't even see what's going on. Oh, there we are. Annie B is here. Ann B. Bebop. Bill West with some of the best commentary on this channel. Chris Milk. Harkview Cinema. If it's Monday, we're at Harkview Cinema. Her Pooper. Jason Walsh, Liz Rivard is here. Mike Fletcher, Raymond Duncan, Snickle Fritz, Vanderloo, and Weevil Boy. There's others. I don't know why it's not popping up. But if you're here and you're still here, you are part. Can you hear me? You are part of this. A part of the revolution. You're part of the revolution. Damn it. You're part of the new news revolution, Marcus Conte.